Andrew, do you know who Chase Young is?
Yeah, of course.
No. My point is, I don't either.
Before I said that Cade Cunningham would never be an All-Star, and I just wanted to double down on that.
Oh,
I just.
We're back
What's going
with
on
another.
with Mike's video?
I know.
All right, can we get a redo from that last start? Let's talk about the NBA playoffs and the NFL draft. Here we go. Oh, what up, John?
What's up, man? How we doing?
Oh, making a trip.
We appreciate it.
Where'd everybody else go?
Oh, they said they were gonna jump on in a couple minutes, but I think you might have fixed your issue faster than they were gonna jump on. So
Oh my gosh, that was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
it happens.
The internet has been completely fine. I don't know, the last 2 years we've been here. Haven't changed internet providers, haven't touched a thing, and all of a sudden this week has been just horrendous.
Man.
So we appreciate those who are with us today, who have jumped on. And I heard you guys talking about the Suns. I watched some of the replay on my way here.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Suns getting swept, man. That's kind of insane.
Yeah, but I think it's a big statement, and I think first of all, Mike was talking for the Sun side, but I think it's a big statement for the Timberwolves, right? Rudy Gobert playing the big man position the way the big man position needs to get played. Ant-Man going to town, showing why he's a superstar. He gets the crowd riled up. He gets his teammates fired up, and awesome player. And then they have a bunch of role players. They have good players that come off the bench. They're well coached. I hate to say it, and kind of glad Mike's not on for this one, but I think they got out coached. I know he likes Frank. Well, there he is.
Speak of the devil.
But I think the Timberwolves just played a good series. We're just recapping. Mike,
All right.
maybe he's there. Mike, there we go. We're just recapping what we were discussing.
Hit the side button and shut my thing off. So
it's all good.
I don't like Frank Vogel. I think we messed up by not getting Nick Nurse in the first place. By the way,
I do agree with that. I think that's 100% true. Nurse is awesome.
To blame him, I don't think that's right. Like, we just didn't have the horses, man. And Grayson Allen going down, like, that didn't help. You already got a limited bench, and I don't know. That was a tough series, man. That was tough to watch, especially when we beat them 3-0 in the regular season. I thought it was a good matchup for us. Yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to take over, John. I'm just frustrated.
No, I was just kind of recapping some of the stuff you were saying. I just think, when we look at it, at least from my perspective, right? Bradley Beal is awesome, and I think he did good one out of the the 4 games that are played. But I think the Timberwolves did a good job of just shutting him down when he's on the court. Right? You talked about how good a defense they played in general, right? Crushing the backcourt, making it real hard for shooters to shoot. Youssef, is that his name? The center. I think they kept him in check really well too. So not that he's really aggressive, but he's a board guy too, and he just didn't do a ton. right? And the team just didn't do enough. So
You want to know an interesting stat about him, Nurchek? He's 3-17 in the playoffs in playoff games, worst in NBA history.
Yikes! Yikes!
Yeah,
Yikes!
that's a
Yikes!
bad stat, right?
yeah, not great, not great.
So yeah,
I-
no, it was just they just got beat. They got,
Yeah.
I mean, they just got manhandled. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I just wish, like I said, there was a future, and unfortunately, it's odd to see what's transpiring there because they don't have a first round or second round pick for 5 years, man. So
Yikes!
yeah, like I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do as a
Yikes.
fan.
Super Sole. Yeah, we'll bring you in when we talk NFL. You don't know anything about basketball, so good to see you, Super Sole. So I agree with you, John. It makes a huge statement about Ant-Man. Not only does he have the skill, but he has the attitude.
Yeah.
You can tell by his posture in wanting to guard KD.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like, I'm gonna take this challenge. I'm gonna lock him down, but also knowing I got two bigs behind me. So if
Yep.
you guys go and drive, I got backside help.
Sure.
So I can run you off of the 3-point line, stay up close into your face, and force you to drive to a place where I know I have help. When you don't have that help, you have to sag off a little bit. Like I can't give up the layup, and you can't do that against a guy like KD. Like, you got to be in his face. You got to get that help side defense. I mean, KD's going to score he's going to get his shot off, but it's the only way you can play defense against a guy like him.
Sure.
How'd you like it, Drew?
Ooh, Ant-Man's like my favorite player right now. So, trying to figure out like every possible way to get him on the Lakers. So, Mike's already sad about it. He knows it's gonna happen.
Can you cut the string, man? Can you cut the string?
Put him in the penalty box.
Andrew's like 100% right now. Never missed a game. Never wants everyone on the Lakers. Trey Young, Damian Lillard are all coming there.
Ugh. I don't want Trey Young or Damian. Come on, dude. Don't say that kind of stuff. Damian Lillard and Trey Young.
I mean, can we not talk about the logo himself thinking he was taking the game-winning shots today? I know he hit the 3, but he missed the next one. I'm like, come on, why is the ball in your hands, man? Like, I'm sorry. You as a Laker fan even have to admit that LeBron or AD should have had that ball, yes?
For everybody on the pod, the logo is Austin Reeves. So
Yeah.
just want to make sure everybody knows what we're talking about here.
So,
no.
I wasn't happy about that 3 he took that he missed. He made one of those 2 threes at the end of the game. For some reason, when it comes down to the fourth quarter, that guy he seems to be the one that's like one of our decision makers, and I'm not entirely against it because he's done a lot of good. He's closed out a lot of good games for us, so I can't say it's all terrible. This
What is
game
that
was
vibrating?
This last game was super disappointing. So,
The NBA guy's getting blown up.
yeah, pretty much. I'm getting blown up because the Lakers lost.
Oh, is that what it, I mean, it sounds like a train. I'm like, I feel like I'm in an arena and they got the train coming out every like.
Yeah, I thought it was a horn, but
I know it was.
There's the one play that really, I know I'm like overanalyzing this, but like
look at him just bypass
that one play. That Michael Porter Jr. in the corner, he shoots a 3 and they call a foul. He gets three free throws. Taurean Prince doesn't even touch him. He's like 6. Like you can see air between their bodies, and like they're calling a foul on that. So there's a few things like that really sucked. But go ahead, John.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I just wanted to kind of highlight the fact that LeBron cries about every single thing that happens. The air conditioning temperature isn't right. The soda might not be as cold. So when Michael Porter Jr. gets a 3, the ability to shoot 3 free throws, and he didn't get fouled, that's going to be okay because that's 1 out of how many? 20, 30 calls? So I just wanted to share that.
I hear you. I hear you. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh,
I mean,
Why are
Yep.
you raising your hand, dude?
AD got the challenge. AD got the challenge overturned, right? Like, I mean, there was contact. Like, I don't know if you could say that was a clean block without him grabbing the jersey before the follow through hitting the face at the end. But to overturn it, I mean, I was a little surprised at that. Yes, like, I mean,
Sure.
It was karma for the D'Angelo one that happened earlier, so it's all right. It was a couple of games ago. But you know what though?
But let me ask you a question: when you challenge and you're successful, don't they retain their timeout?
That was what I was gonna say. Why the Lakers at the end of the game they take this 40-footer for Tarian Prince does, and I'm like, didn't they have a timeout? Like, what the heck happened there? So if that
So
comes
it was
out later,
showing 0 timeouts on there.
But does the rule change in the playoffs? Because I've seen that before, and it might have even been one of the previous Laker games where they challenged, but they lost their timeout. So I don't know. I haven't checked the rule book on that, but does it change?
It must, because they said they have no timeouts, and I mean LeBron got the inbounds in the corner at half court, and I was like, why didn't he call timeout with 3.6 seconds left? I mean, again, just a heads up play though by Joker, man. I mean, trapping LeBron basically by himself in the corner. Like LeBron was full head of steam going up to the left side, and Joker just stands in front of him like this, and LeBron jumps in there, and I mean, he throws it to Prince. That's not Prince's fault for shooting that. Like, I mean, just a smart dude, man. A smart basketball IQ is next level with him. But hey, man, let's just call it what it is, Andrew. It was a tough matchup for the Lakers, and they should have lost the play-in game. I mean, that's just what it is.
no.
I mean, imagine playing Jamal Murray in the conference finals with the sore calf. Like, you guys may actually win, assuming Anthony Davis could stay healthy for 2 series. But you still lost the play-in, man. I mean, that's just tough. You win that play-in game, and you set yourself up for this type of series. And I mean, you were right there in every game. There's no doubt that the Lakers could have won a lot of these games, but it's just a tough matchup. They don't match up well versus the Nuggets, and it's unfortunate because if they lost the play-in, I think they're still playing.
Jamal Murray broke their hearts, man.
I can tell you, the one thing that the Lakers lack. They were up in the first game, right? Lost the lead late. Up in the second game by double digits, lost the lead late. One third game.
Won the fourth game. They lost the
won
third
the fourth
game. Same
game.
thing.
Right? So they've been up. The one thing they lack is that Mamba mentality. They, for whatever reason, cannot close out the game. And I honestly, don't get me wrong, LeBron is a great player, phenomenal, right? Like, that's a guy you want on your team. But we don't have that one guy that will take over when nobody else wants to. I mean, LeBron's just not that guy.
We do. The problem is it's Austin Reeves and not Kyrie Irving. So that's the problem. That's why. Seriously, that's why he's taking.
Oscar says, "Don't worry,
here
Drew.
we go.
Clippers will be in Cancun soon." Yes, sir.
Hey,
Watch
Oscar.
Hey, but we're not there yet, right?
Mavericks
Like,
six?
the Clippers are still playing, and the Lakers aren't, right? Could we all agree on that? Could we all shake our head yes? Can I get
great
a thumbs up from
transition?
Oscar?
Great transition to the next game. So when we talk about a team that maybe you thought was going to go sideways after giving up a 31-point lead, hung in there in the end to come out with the win, and that would be the Clippers. So already more wins than the Lakers. Yep. And future Hall of Famer doing his thing, James Harden. So
my guy.
Yeah,
I love it.
That was
Fantastic.
Exclamation
You came
right
around. I just got to get Andrew to come around and admit that they should have lost a play-in game, and then I'll be like,
and life is beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
I'll never admit that.
Dallas.
I'd rather lose the Nuggets than lose the play-in game.
Clippers won that last game to tie up the series 2-2 against Dallas. Dallas is looking good despite Luka's struggles here in the last game.
The winner of this series is going to the Western Conference Finals, in my opinion. So
agreed.
That is what's on the line right now. Is these two teams are really, really good. Mavericks made those trades at the deadline, and whoever wins this, they're going to take out the Thunder and go to the Western Conference Finals, in my opinion. So It's a big
Celtics
series.
Celtics take a 3-1 lead over Miami, but lose Porzingis in the process. How do you guys like their chances to continue to move? Are they still NBA Finals coming out of the East without Porzingis?
Is he done for the season?
I don't know if he's done for the season. I know he hobbled off just before halftime. I don't think they've come out with an actual diagnosis yet on what his injury is, though.
Did you guys see the controversy though in the game today? At the end of it, did you guys see the Jason Tatum Bam play?
Mm-mm.
So Tatum's at the top of the key. Someone else has the ball, and someone from the Heat comes up and fouls the guy, and the ball bounces to Tatum, and so foul's called. Tatum goes up to shoot a three. Bam goes up to block it. Tatum comes down and turns his ankle on Bam.
Oh.
And it looked pretty bad. I mean, he continued to play, but it looked pretty bad. Here's the thing: the play was over.
Right.
Right.
So
the foul was called, and they reviewed it and called a flagrant foul on Bam for not giving him space to land, which in theory is a foul, but it's after the play. So the foul's already been called. I mean, the guy's shooting. I mean, how many times do you see a guy shoot the ball and, someone comes up
after the whistle?
Yeah, and someone doesn't let it go in, right? Goaltends, so to speak, right? You can't review. I mean, they literally reviewed it and called not only the foul on the court on someone else, but a flagrant foul on Bam for not giving him landing space. And it wasn't intentional. I mean, he went up, he kind of got in his face to block it, and he came down on his foot and rolled it. But I don't know what I feel there. Like, it's after the play. Like, I mean, this is not a foul. Like, Jason Tatum doesn't need to be getting shooting practice in, right? I mean, and if I'm the other team, I'm not letting him get shooting practice in. And how are you going to call a flagrant on that when the play's already over, right? Like, you guys got to check the rewind or check the replays on that, the YouTube videos, because
what's the harm?
What?
Go ahead.
Well, what's crazy is Miami had just cut it down to 13. And I know 13 is still a lot of points, but there's about 5 minutes left in the game. They had got from 23 down to 13 on like a 8-0, 10-0 run. And then this happens, and they get, they called a technical on Horford because he kind of came and bumped Bam out of the way. But Hero missed a free throw. So they're still down 13. And then Tatum sinks 2 and the ball out of bounds. So it's a 15-point game, with the ball now, and they get a bucket. And so it's 17. I mean, just like that. And it's unfortunate. I think it was a wrong call. They reviewed it for a good 2 minutes, and I was just like, what are they doing? It doesn't seem right.
So why is Bam, though, like, even trying to stop him from shooting a meaningless shot? Like, that makes no sense to me.
Well, why is he shooting a meaningless shot, right?
Oh,
I mean, how many times
it
does he
happens
shoot a
all the
meaningless
time.
shot and they don't let him, don't let him get in shooting practice.
Let him get the delay a game or whatever it's going to be called on Tatum. Instead, you put yourself in that position. Like,
that's the problem. There never is a delay a game.
Never.
Like a foul's called, guy still shoots. Kevin Garnett used to goaltend every single one because he was like, I'm not letting you watch the ball go through the bucket because you've shot poorly, this last 10 minutes.
It's a statement.
Right. And so even if they shot it after the whistle's been blown, he would go through, make sure that ball did not go through the net. I mean, it happens all the time.
And it's not just that sport. I mean, in football, how many times do they call the timeout before the kicker, and the kicker wants that chance to take that kick to
and
see
still
what the
kicks
wind's
it.
blowing, right? And they actually, the NFL's put penalties on that. Like, if it's too far after the snap, they don't let them do it. So, I mean, I don't think this is on Bam at all, in my opinion. I think it was a punk move by what Tatum did in the first place. I mean, trying to shoot after the buzzer, and yes, it was unfortunate, and it was not intentional. That's the other thing. Like, when you see the replay, this was not intentional. It was not. But Tatum came down on his ankle and turned it sideways and was on the ground for a minute. He was able to finish playing, but it'll be interesting to see how he does with his ankle injuries. He's got past ankle injuries too. So
yeah, no kidding. Pelicans got swept by OKC. I think everybody saw that coming though. But the Pelicans without Zion is not the same.
Yep.
I don't think Brandon Ingram is the guy that can do it all. I think he definitely needs help. and Pelicans just don't have anybody else.
CJ McCollum's not that guy either. I mean, I think he's a good compliment player, but he's not the guy.
Right. Definitely interested to see who's going to come out of that Dallas Clipper game or series.
Well, I know who's not going to be coming out of it is Kawhi. He won't be out there on the court.
Yeah. But he's ready though. He's getting ready for the world.
Hey,
So
good point. Yeah,
Good
I love
for
how
him.
he's able to commit to the summer, but not to Wednesday's game.
Yeah.
When you guys said you'd trade Kawhi for AD, I was almost like, well, maybe not be that much of a difference. But AD actually played this season, man, and he played through he hurt his shoulder during this game, and he stayed out there.
I'll trade Kawhi for a lot of players at this point, man. I'm tired of.
Sure. I mean, PG gets hurt almost every year too, but I'll take him because at least he wants to be on the court. So PG and AD, that's dangerous. And future Hall of Famer Harden.
The issue with this is PG gonna resign?
I don't know. But I don't know that they're gonna offer him. That's the thing. I think he's sad because I think he wants to stay.
Come to the Lakers.
Yeah, PG. I don't think they're gonna offer him.
Why wouldn't they offer him? What are they gonna?
I don't know, but I would have assumed that there would at least been a deal on the table just for him to say no. Maybe they say, hey, take a team friendly deal to stay. But he's always said since he joined the Clippers, he wants to retire a Clipper. And there, to my knowledge, I could be wrong, but I don't think that they've offered him a deal yet.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought they were waiting till after the season to get it done. I thought they missed the time to negotiate, and they were just waiting till the end of the year.
I'm good with that.
Sources said that he's going to sign after the year.
Good. I hope so.
If I look back at all the times I've heard PG say, I'm a Pacer. I want to be a Pacer for the rest of my career. Thunder. I want to be a Thunder for the rest of my career.
Oh, you're not wrong, except I don't care about those teams. I care about this one. So I mean, if we're stuck with Kawhi forever, then I might as well have PG on there too, right? At least I got PG and Harden, so I'd be okay with that.
Anyone on the stream interested in a pair of Kawhis? I got some. You can have them. I'm tired of them, man.
Let us know in the comments. Maybe we can send them to you.
Michael signed them too, just for you. He'll sign them for you.
That's funny. Hey, so let me ask you this: what team? So Suns are out. Who knows what they can do with their squad? Getting Beal was a huge mistake. They're kind of stuck. Lakers are out. Pelicans are out. Where do they go from here, man? Where do these teams go from here? Like, what's next for them? That's kind of how what I'm trying to figure out. Lakers, I wish they'd trade it, get as many picks as they can, go all in, try to get Cooper Flagg next year, and see if they can reboot. Man, I don't see where they're going from this with their team right now. So
they need a better coach. I can tell you what they need. They need a better coach.
And get rid of Cam Reddish off the bench.
Though.
Who though? Who though? I mean, I know it's easy to say get rid of Darvin Ham, but who do you want?
That's on the table. My point is I have nobody. I don't know who would be on the table for hire, right? My problem with Ham is that one, he's not making the adjustments. LeBron's making the adjustments, right? Two, you see LeBron making the substitutions off the bench, and now there's videos of Ham that are circulating on Twitter where he's not even drawing up plays during timeout. Like, play. You just spent the entire timeout not even knowing where to put guys. Like, that's not cool, man. Like, come on.
So would you pick up the phone, call the Bucks, and ask for Doc Rivers?
If Doc is gonna do something with it.
No,
I think
I'll stick with Darvin Ham over Doc, man.
So what if LeBron's not there next year? Do you think that's better? I'm dead serious.
Does that help? I don't.
Will that allow the coach to coach?
I don't know I'm not sure if the coach knows how to coach. I mean, to be honest with you, not all players make great coaches. Not all players make great owners. I mean, Michael Jordan proved that, right? So just because you've played the game doesn't necessarily, you could relate to some of the things the players are going through, but that doesn't mean that you can scheme, you know how to make adjustments, you know how to rotate guys. Go ahead, Mike.
What about Mike Bunhauser? What's his name from the Bucks? You guys want him as your coach?
He won
I don't.
40 games with the Bucks, man. Before
So who do you want, Drew? You got a bunch of I don'ts. Let's see who you. Oh wait. A typical Laker fan is gonna pick the best coach in the league and say that guy's coming to LA.
He's got a better name than
I
him.
actually
Funhauser.
I want
Bunhauser, I
Rajon
thought
Rondo.
you
No,
want
Rajon
Rondo,
Rondo.
you want
That'd be
Rondo to
interesting.
come up from his AAU team.
You want Rajon
Take over.
Rondo, the real Celtic, to go to the Lakers, huh?
He won a championship with us too, man. I'll take him.
Yeah, but no one remembers
Can-
Rondo as a Laker.
Can he control everyone, all the egos?
I don't.
He has the biggest ego out there. Of course he can. You know, he'll be.
But is that I think that's my point though, right? Like I mean this, I'm sure he's a great person, right? But I feel like as a player he got in his own way. So as a coach, can he not, right? Or can he work with everybody else? Again, you can relate to a lot of people, but can that translate into building a good team?
I think what he has is respect from the players around the league as far
Okay.
as knowledge of the game. Like he knows what he's talking about when it comes to making the right plays, reading defenses. He's a very good defensive player. In the Lakers run, he actually was in Vogel's ear and like pushing for different lineup changes and stuff, and Vogel actually listened to him. So I'm half joking, but I would love to see him come in
Sure.
and work his way up, get an assistant job somewhere, and see what he can do. You know, because I think he kind of has the brain for it, the work and the work ethic for it and everything, and I think he get the respect of players. But in all seriousness, as far as picking up a coach, Mike, there's certain guys I've just seen coach. Budenhauser, I forgot his name, that just I don't see them making those adjustments, like mid series adjustments, mid game adjustments to change the outcome of the game, and I didn't see it in a lot of the Lakers coaches and their past few coaches. It's kind of like Mike Brown. I always see him that way. Mike Brown's a system guy who can't make adjustments. It seemed like that time and time again we had that struggle. Budenhauser, he looked at very similar problem that I saw. And the great coaches that you need that can win a championship are the ones that can make those adjustments. So I don't know. I think they should probably look to college, look for some really great coaches in college, and find a guy. They need to try to find the next Brad Stevens or something. I don't know college coaches enough to be able to say who that should be, but that's what I would do and start looking for.
You're not getting a college coach to coach LeBron though. I mean, that's just not
No.
happening, right? Like, you need someone with experience, and that guy's not available.
I'm talking about if we're trading LeBron. I literally am like, if I could, I would trade him tomorrow. I think he's the best player.
Doesn't LeBron have a player option?
Yeah, I think so.
So I mean, he controls whether he stays or goes. I think he has a no trade clause too, if I'm not mistaken. But
I heard he didn't, but I doubt that's true.
What about
I can't
JJ
imagine
Redick?
him not having that because he gets everything he wants. So
I like that, John. I could see. I've heard there's a lot of people interested in JJ Redick.
His
Oh,
podcast
really-
has helped that.
If you've listened to his podcast, very, very high IQ, very smart guy. Cusses a lot. That's probably what happens in sports anyways. But he man, he's good. He's real good.
I mean, people listen to this podcast. Andrew may get a head coaching job at the Lakers.
Hey.
yeah, right. LeBron and Reddick's little podcast together is so good. My goodness, I shouldn't say little. That thing is it's so fun to listen to. So,
Drew, if you get
and I've been thinking about what you said, Drew, about like Atlanta or someone drafting Bronny.
Yeah,
I got a better idea for you. What about Golden State drafting him?
they should. They should go all old. You know, the oldest guys in the league. Just throw them all out there, and then
I mean, Curry and LeBron can still compete for a championship, right?
Yep. Why not?
And so, I mean, I don't know. I would hate to, as a Clipper fan, I hate to see it, but the reality is, if I'm Golden State, I'm signing Bronny and getting LeBron over there, even for a couple of years. I mean, your win now mode, right? You get rid of Clay. You still have Draymond. That would be something else if Draymond and LeBron together. But I mean, I could see it. I could see that happening. Obviously, not wasting a lottery pick on him, but
They might have to if everyone's trying to do that, trying to get LeBron to go to their team, But
Now y'all are-
hey, I would
Now
love to
y'all
see
are
it
just
happen
talking
too.
wild. You guys are talking wild now. I'm ready to move on to the NFL.
well,
Fair enough.
talk about wild, man. I don't even want. I don't
Not-
even know if that's any better, man. My son's team doesn't. I don't like the outlook. I don't like what the Niners did in that draft, man. It's been a tough week for me. I'll be honest.
Has any team had like a decent draft? I mean, the Bears, okay, they they got their quarterback. They ended up drafting Caleb Williams #1, and then went out and got Odunze at, what was it, their 8th or 9th pick.
9, yeah.
So that gives them a solid offense there. But is their defense formidable enough to, or are you just going to count on the offense to score 40 points a game?
Man, how about that division? That's just a tough division. I do not want to be the Bears right now. I mean, you're talking about Green Bay, you're talking about Detroit, you're talking about even potentially Minnesota, who's not that far removed from being a really good squad. So, the Bears are good. I think they gotta, if Caleb Williams doesn't succeed, I don't know who would in that system. They've really put some great players around them. You got DJ Moore on one side, Odunze on the other side, Cole Kmet in the middle. You got a good running game. And what's his name from Philly that just came over?
Yep, with Swift.
Yeah, I mean, they are stacked. They are stacked up and down the roster on offense. Like you said, their defense did play well towards the end of last year. They did bounce back nicely. They got Sweat, right? So they got that good defensive lineman. I felt like they needed another edge rusher on the other side opposite him, but for the most part, I think they did what they needed to do. As much as I know, I hate to say it, I actually think the Eagles did very well in the draft.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know why they kept
Oscar,
drafting cornerbacks, but they got
the Eagles.
They basically just said anyone who's a value pick, and I got like 10 picks of value, I'm gonna grab them. And I was like, oh man, why didn't we? And maybe I'm saying that as a Niner fan too, because I wanted some of these guys, so I may be a little biased in that. But I thought the Eagles did well in their draft.
I thought the Cardinals did very well. Right, Marvin Harrison Jr. They got Missouri defensive lineman Darius Robinson. They got a couple corners in Max Melton and Elijah Jones. A big running back in Trey Benson. They did good. Well, obviously they're rookies, but I think in a couple of years, Cardinals can be formidable.
Did New England show their coaching youth in drafting 2 quarterbacks in the same draft?
I mean, I didn't get that. I really didn't get that because of how high they drafted the second guy.
Right.
I felt like some of these teams are playing fantasy football out there. I sent you guys a text saying that, but I mean, Niners got like 11 wide receivers on their roster. I don't know why they need 11 wide receivers on their roster. Atlanta got 2 starting quarterbacks. Let's just pay this guy a bunch of money, who's already the oldest quarterback in the draft, and we're gonna go sign Kirk Cousins at the same time. Like, they just playing 2 quarterbacks in case one gets hurt, I guess. I mean, I don't get it. I really don't. And then you talk about New England. I mean, why would you go and draft Milton that high if you're already, if you're going to be taking, your future in McCarthy? I mean, I just don't get it. There was a lot of head scratching moves for me in this draft. Like I said, Niners getting a wide receiver that I didn't even know was going to go on day one. I just don't get it. It was really interesting to see.
Well, if you saw CJ Stroud's reaction about that pick, man, CJ Stroud thinks very highly of that kid. He says he's the real deal. They got an absolute dog. in wide receiver. Now,
Yeah, so did
do
I.
I pick him? Yeah, do I take him in the first round? I don't know. I don't
I
think
think he'd have
so.
been available in the 2. So
That's my thing. Is it's just all about like, when could you have got him? If you want him that bad, that's fine. But I mean, we just didn't need a wide receiver. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
we need
you
offensive
got
linemen.
Jennings, you
Offensive
got
linemen.
Hey, you know who
What we
drafted
needed.
offensive linemen?
Yeah, he did good. He didn't draft a quarterback, but he got offensive linemen. So he did good there, right?
Yeah.
You kidding me? Antonio Pierce wants to run the ball. He don't care about throwing it.
Sure.
He
Well,
wants
Call
to
up
maybe
run
Trent
the
now,
ball.
and you may need to throw it with your division as good as you have.
So I'm gonna give a plug for one of our new viewers here. So I think the Chiefs did well, especially with Rushy Rice.
Don't
not be-
bring up no
Hold on.
Chiefs.
My girl Zerlinda, she's watching the show, so I appreciate it. Thank you, Zerlinda. Welcome to the show. Right, so I'm gonna give you Xavier Worthy as a really good pick. That's the only nice thing I'm gonna say about the Chiefs all year. So I'm done. Okay, I'm a
Hey,
Niners fan. You know I'm a Niners fan, so
They did a good job re-signing Kelsey today.
Kelsey.
So
yeah, they did.
Okay,
Highest paid tight end.
yeah.
you are the NFL, right? An NFL team owner or GM, whatever. I don't care what you do. Why would you let the fastest wide receiver in NFL history to run the 40 to land with the Chiefs, who are already known to just be flat out fast? Like, what in the world are we doing here?
I don't know. It should have been stopped like when Chris Paul was stopped going to the Lakers.
Veto. Well, hold on, wait a minute. Hit that veto button.
It should have been
You know who
stopped.
did
Don't get me
absolutely
started, John.
It should
Don't
have
get
been
me
stopped
started.
like Pau Gasol going to the Lakers for the first time for Kwame Brown.
You know who did absolutely trash in the draft though? Cincinnati. I'm just kidding. I'm not. He ended up texting me earlier during that draft day, and he was like, "Really? You guys had to draft the tight end, the one position we needed."
But Cincinnati still got graded an A on Fox Sports. They still
Yeah.
got graded an A.
They did. They still got graded pretty high.
Yeah, but they got
Now-
half their players requesting trades at this point. Like, what's
That's
going
true,
on
but
over
for
there?
for right now they're an A. So
That's
maybe
true.
by the start of the season it might be a C minus, but they're an A now.
Well, if they need some receivers, feel free to reach out to the Niners.
We
They got
can
a-
help, guys. We can help over here.
Yeah. Supposedly the
So-
Steelers are still engaging in Debo Samuel's talk and wants Debo, and I'm like, man, just get over it. Like
Yeah.
you just fed this controversy more. Like that's all you did. Like just sign Ayuk and get some protection. I read this thing on Twitter that said, so the Niners apparently don't care about blocking Chris Jones in the Super
I
Bowl.
know.
They
Ugh.
just want to outscore them. Because that's what they did in the draft. And it's like, you're not going to outscore them, man. I mean, I don't know.
And it makes me so mad, the stupid Eagles, and I said it, Oscar, the Eagles signed Mekhi Becton. Oh my gosh. The rich get richer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Now, will that help him?
I
Maybe.
don't know. Still makes me mad.
So you take the Eagles, who did well under their head coach, right? At that second year, took this huge dip. Like what just happened? And now they're rich again with all their assets. If the Eagles don't pan out, does that fall on the head coach? Oscar said, "That's right."
If
What do you
they
think,
don't
Oscar?
pan out, I mean, I would have to say yes. You have so much talent, both veteran and raw talent out there. You have so much talent. I don't know, man. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I don't even know what to say to that. Cooper DeJean. That's somebody who should be for the Niners right there. I mean, man, a plethora of riches there, man.
This is what I'm
And
talking
they just
about. though.
re-signed AJ Brown to a 3-year deal.
Yeah, they did.
So the rich get richer, right? Eagles just constantly adding stuff, constantly on the opposite end. You got the Cowboys who don't add anything in free agency. I don't even know
Well,
if they picked up. I don't even know if they picked up a running back in
They
in the
did. They got the
draft.
Kansas
Zeke.
State guy, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
But then
Like,
you go and re-sign Zeke.
That's the
Zeke,
answer.
we need you for one more year, baby.
Yeah.
Let's roll it back. Let's run it back. Come on, we'll feed you this time. What in
They
the
need him for
world?
the Christmas game where he can hide in that big old bowl of whatever.
Yeah,
Salvation
that
Army.
Oh,
Salvation
the
Army
Salvation
bucket.
Army Bowl, yeah,
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving.
Who do you think? Who do you think is going to be your sleeper coming out of the draft? You think is going to do well? Well, I'll narrow it down even to like your team. Who on the Niners do you think is going to do well and is going to be your guys' like sleeper pick? Like this guy, I think pretty highly of this guy.
Mike, you can go first.
Man, I hope it. I mean, I guess I just have to be confident and say that Purcell's gonna be the guy. But I'm gonna go with, man, I don't know. I don't know that any of them are starting right now, and that's the problem, right? I don't know.
Do we need to come back to you? Do you need to pick a
Yeah,
different
I mean,
team?
I'm just down on it, man. Like I've honestly felt like we had real needs and we didn't address those needs. Like, real, like it really made me frustrated as a fan. I'll be honest.
What do you think,
Okay.
John?
I'll go. So we didn't address
got
our
a
need
quarterback.
until the third round, later in the third round. So I'll choose Dominic Puny. I'm excited because I think that by the end of this year, he has the opportunity to be a starter on the line. I do. I think that he's big. He fits our scheme pretty well. I'm excited for him. He just got to stay healthy, but I do think he has a chance to by the end of the season, I would say, have a chance to start, and I'm good with that, even if it's 1 game, 2 games, whatever. But I think he's going to be good.
I'm more excited about the thought that Jamal Adams may come to the Niners as our safety, a backup safety. So I don't know if you saw that report, John, or not, but there's mutual interest, and we're keeping him his number handy, basically.
He's going to have to be cheap, though. We have no, money capabilities right now.
I mean, he's a vet at this point. I think he came back late to the Seahawks. I mean, he's, we tend to do well with Seahawks players that come over. So, I mean,
I'd like
I
that.
honestly don't see any of these players doing well this year. And maybe Pooney's the only guy I could see starting as a offensive lineman. But other than him, man, like even Ricky Pearsall, like the guy we drafted, like how's he get on the field? If with today's roster, right? That obviously changes if Debo gets traded or we don't re-sign Ayuk. But you got Ayuk, Debo, Jaquan Jennings. Where's this kid playing? Special teams?
So he'll probably start special teams and especially returns. But that boy's got some hands. He's got turn of direction ability. Like, Mike, don't make me paint a lipstick on a pig here. I'm trying, okay? Because I think he has opportunity. But I think that takes some pressure off of some of the veterans that haven't performed well at the kickoff duties. Give somebody else another shot.
I guess.
Glass
I
is
didn't
half
know.
full
I didn't know you
here.
were wasting a first-round draft pick on a punt returner.
Mike, you didn't even know we had a first-round draft pick because Trey Lance ate up like 3 or 4 of our picks. You didn't even know that. So we haven't picked a first-round pick since 1962, but we were able to get one this year. So we'll take what we get. And
that's
next
what I
year,
feel like maybe we just need to stop drafting the first round. Like maybe we should just do
100%. Solomon Thomas not needed, right? Eric Armstead gone, right? I don't even know what to choose. You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong.
You guys are too much.
I said on the pod
Our
last
sweet
week,
spots, the 3rd through the 5th round pick, right?
Right. That's our
3rd
money
through
round.
5th round pick. We're solid there.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I said last week on the pod, if we draft a wide receiver in the first 4 rounds, I'm upset. Not only do we not go to the first 4, we get this fool in the first, and then we go and get another one in like the 4th anyway. So it's like now we got 2 wide receivers that we got with no room to fit them on the roster. Like, what are we doing? And then we go inside T.O.'s kid. Like, What is going on? I'm shocked
And we
didn't
drafted a
draft-
running back in the
Right.
4th round too.
I know. Like those are
What-
the two positions where like we have 6 running backs on our roster.
What you
Oh,
don't know
man.
is Kyle Shanahan is revamping his offense, and he's gonna go 5 wide.
Hopefully he studies the OT rules. That's all I care about.
We better score 60 points because the Chiefs always have our number every time we play them in
Our
the Super
offense
Bowl.
was
So
not the problem last year. Like except in the Super Bowl, that was the only time our offense was a problem.
that's fair.
It's yeah. I'm telling you, man. None of these guys come out and play. I don't see it. Maybe as a punt returner, I get that we need someone, but I mean, maybe he doesn't let the ball hit his shoe, right? And we don't, get the muff or whatever. But that wasn't even the returner's fault.
That's why you drafted a returner.
And maybe that's it. Maybe that's all. Maybe they figured that's all that went wrong in that game, and that's why they try to change that. That could be. You might be right, Mike. You might be onto something. Instead of wide receiver, they should put punt returner, PR.
Yeah.
I explained that in the beginning of our discussion here, big guy. That's okay. Mike, you got it. Raiders fan, you made it right. Good job. Ryan.
Yeah,
Good job,
that's what I'm
Mike.
talking about. I got a couple of draft picks with the Raiders that kind of piqued my interest. That 2nd round pick, center out of Oregon. Now they're gonna make him play guard because we just re-signed our center. They're gonna probably put him at left guard, right guard, probably at right guard. And I'm gonna give him his nickname right now. It's gonna be JPJ, Jackson Powers Johnson. Gives me some Richie Incognito vibes, man. I listened to the call from the GM. Him getting notified that he's gonna get picked, and all I could hear was like, I'm a whoop some F for you, coach. All right, that's what I'm talking about, kid. Let's go.
He also has to pinch people on the way up too, because that's what Incognito did. He would pinch people as coming up. People that have like big old welts on their arms.
Yep. So you're gonna sit there and bully everybody. And then there's a 6th round pick out of New Hampshire.
Oh, nice.
And I had no clue who this guy was, right? But apparently he led the FCS in all-purpose yards, period. Kickoff or kick return, punt return, out of the backfield. He plays running back and played in the Senior Bowl. And I saw his Senior Bowl highlights, and I'm like, oh, this kid's kind of shifty. He gives me like a bigger Julian Edelman type vibe, where he can run some routes out of the backfield and just kind of be an all-around guy, like in the early years of Edelman when he was trying to find his way. So I'm interested in that, but
Nice.
we'll see, man. We'll see. I know Drew's just waiting for Miami to pick up another receiver for Tua. Sorry, Drew, I don't know if that happened.
They drafted defense, man. They needed it. That's what they needed. Chop. They took Chop.
Chop
Robinson.
Robinson.
Very good.
Yeah.
They needed Chop, man.
Yep.
I'm impressed, Andrew.
And Jalen, they took Jalen Wright. They were graded at A-, so they had a decent haul there.
They
Chop's a
needed
big
Chop.
guy, man. I was looking at him. He's like 6'3", big vertical. Like, I don't know. This guy's
Did you see him run the 40?
yeah, the 4.4
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for as big as he is, too.
Big
Whereas-
guy.
Big
That's what
as
I'm saying,
he
like,
is, man.
Running
This
like a
fool-
freight train.
Yeah, good selection. I think they did well. 250, 363, 35-inch vertical, and runs the 40 in 4.48. That's crazy. That's
If you
crazy.
get hit by a dude that big coming at you,
Fast.
yeah, that fast, boy, you're gonna feel that. I guarantee it. Guarantee you're gonna feel it.
No,
Oh
thank you.
wait.
Hey, I just had an idea, Mike. I think the Niners are going to be running 6 wide receiver offensive plays.
There you go.
Just have 3 offensive linemen and 6 wides.
Yeah,
That's what it is. That's definitely they're gonna change the game.
they don't need Kittle apparently.
Let me throw the
Hey, well,
flag out
apparently
right
they
now.
do need Kittle because they didn't draft any other tight end either. Like, I mean, we're just gonna
Yeah.
roll. With
Well,
Kittle
they won't
only, I
throw
guess.
to win the Super Bowl anyway, so who cares?
Illegal formation.
We need him to get there, though.
On
Once
the
we get there, we
offense.
don't need him. But when we get, up until then,
No, you needed him. That was the problem.
I understand.
We need,
That is-
yeah. We
I
know
remember
we need-
watching one play where he's lined up against a linebacker 1-on-1, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I see this, right? He's gonna get the ball. Purdy looks the other way. Oh my god, I was not happy at the TV, I'll tell you that. But he was wide open, and yeah, just didn't happen.
Yeah, that's the worst. Like the bird's eye view that we end up getting on TV is so
Yeah. It's unfair.
so different. Yeah,
Yeah.
so different from even if when you're standing on the sideline. Like as a coach, you try to watch the game, and watching the game differs for each coach. Whether you're an offensive guy or a defensive guy. Am I watching my position? Am I watching the ball? Am I watching the overall play? Am I watching the back end? Am I watching the front? Am I watching, there's so many things going on. That's hard to see. You can't see the windows that they're looking at, or what guy they're supposed to be reading. Tom Brady made an excellent point that like most quarterbacks nowadays don't know how to recognize. Okay, we just called a man play, and they're playing zone now. Well, none of my man beaters are going to work because now they're playing zone. Like, how do I audible out of that and call a different play? They're just running the play as is. So it'd be interesting to see what their point of view is on that. It was almost like LeBron calling out NBA players and saying, "Well, I play with guys that don't even know how to flip a play." Like that's wild, dude. That is wild. You're in the NBA and you can't flip a play. You're just going from one side to the other. How I don't understand how that's difficult.
But do you think, from the quarterback perspective, on what you explained right now, do you think that is the immaturity of the player, or of the time we're in, or do you think that from an accountability standpoint, if it goes bad, the player just says, "Well, that's what the coach called"?
I think it's a little bit of both, honestly.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with, okay, I'm just trying to learn the system, and I don't necessarily understand the system completely, right? I go to the huddle, I call 2 plays, right? 2 different plays. Usually one's a pass, one's a run, just in case. And
Yeah.
So as a quarterback standpoint, I got my pre-snap read, right? Okay, well, did the run play we just call, are they lined up in the gap that, are they overloaded to the side that we're going to run to? Can I flip it quickly to the other side? Is it flippable, period? I mean, that's when you're playing quarterback, at least okay, and this is going to date me a while. Like I played quarterback a long time ago, okay? So I won't even say how long. But the only reason why I was able to play quarterback is because I understood everybody's assignment. It didn't matter, who didn't know their assignment. I could tell you who needed to block who, right? What hole you were going to, what routes you were going to, and understand what the defense needed to, where the defense needed to be lined up and what they needed to play, right? So it's more than just understanding, oh yeah, well you have a slant, you have a quick slant. Okay, well if the DB's playing inside shade and I have a linebacker on the inside, playing in the slant window, what do I do? Am I am I telling him to hang out? Am I reading that backer? Like a lot of it has to, I think Tom Brady benefited more out of Belichick being his coach, only because Belichick pushed him to learn defense, not just learn offense. Like you teach me offense, I'll teach you defense, and so that I can stop you and you can score on me, right? So I'm going to give you a different look in practice. See how you handle it. I guarantee you most coaches aren't even giving them a different look.
Yeah.
You know, I think it is what it is. I don't know how strict guys are actually being in the NFL with, hey man, you got to study. I can't even remember what player it was that came out and was like, oh, I didn't watch a single. Oh, it was Gronk. Gronk was like, I loved playing with Brady because I didn't even know what I was supposed to be running half of the time. And he was like, oh, just run this. This is what you got. He's like, all right, cool.
Sounds like Kyler Murray.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, after Fortnite, not before.
Is it Fortnite or Call of Duty? I don't remember.
oh,
Which one it was.
yeah.
You might be right. He's young dude. I don't know.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like, some guys, some quarterbacks, they can handle it and say, this is what you got. And, you know,
Right.
hey, if he's outside leverage, bend it. And
Yeah.
I'll hit you in the window. But if he's inside leverage, make sure you fade it more outside. I'll catch you over the outside shoulder. Where most quarterbacks now, especially nowadays, they're like, yeah, you're supposed to run a seam straight down the hash, man. Oh, that's where I was supposed to hit you, was over the hash. Like that's coach said, over the hash. For those of you tuning in, make sure you like us, subscribe to us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Thank you for tuning in to Jam Pack Podcast, man. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, filled with the NBA playoffs, the NFL draft. You know, we hope we bring in insightful analysis and somewhat engaging discussion. If you'd like to be a guest speaker or a guest on our show, make sure you follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Jam Pack Podcast. That's Jam with 2 M's. Pack Podcast. Send us a message and we'll work something out. Until next time, keep cheering for your favorite teams and athletes. And remember, in the game of sports and in life, passion and perseverance always lead to victory. It's almost like I wrote that down, right? Oh my gosh, that was way too good.
That was impressive. That was nice, Mike. I like it.
Anywho, be safe out there. You know, be kind to one another, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out, fellas.
See you guys.